The European Parliament is meeting in Strasbourg for its final plenary before the summer break, with a wide-ranging agenda covering EU enlargement, defence, migration and industrial policy. Now, MEPs will also debate conclusions of last month's European Council and hear the priorities of Ireland's new presidency of the Council of the EU. Joining us now is Tomáš Zdechovský, Czech member of the European Parliament from the European People's Party. Good to have you with us. Welcome back.
Thank you very much for your kind invitation.
So, Tomáš, all of these various topics, what is the most, let's say, high priority item for you right now and other members of the European Parliament? Is that migration, defense? What specifically are you really going to focus on these next few days?
Yes, I think that all topics what you already mentioned are very important, but specific important, especially now, is defense, because the situation in Ukraine, it's growing, and I think it's very important, especially now in this summer when Russia is under the pressure, give them the opportunity to defend themselves and help them to win. And second very important issue is immigration, because during the summer, the immigration flow is growing and more illegal migrants are crossing the borders. And this is very important for us to have it very short check and bring the people back, return the people back to their own country. If they are not refugees, they are only illegal migrants.
Mm-hmm. I want to come back to that defense point just now, if I may, Tomáš. And we're dealing right now with the latest news out of Ukraine. As you said, we're just getting reports, the latest Russian strikes, at least 10 people dead at this point in time, 56 injured. This follows other strikes we've seen in the last few days. But when you have something like this, how does it come up in the plenary debates? I mean, how will MEPs react to this kind of information? Because Parliament has traditionally been very much on the side of Ukraine.
Yeah, what you see in Ukraine is that Russia really are criminal wars, that they are killing the innocent civilian people. And this is the difference between the Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine systematically hit the infrastructure, the petroleum infrastructure, and they stop the production of oil and gas in Russia. What Russia is doing, they are killing innocent people. They are sending their rockets to the civilian infrastructure, and they knows that they are now they have it now a huge problem in Ukraine. And this is why we have to really bring these topics to European parliaments and say to member states, please help. The war is continuing, and we have to save the Ukraine people, especially civilian people, before the catastrophe. And this is most important message what we want to send it from the Strasbourg.
And also, I think it's not just protecting Ukraine, it's also that security situation. We've had words also from the Polish Prime Minister saying that he is very intensively praying for possible Russian provocation. And we've seen these hybrid attacks increase, unfortunately. When you hear a message like that from the Prime Minister, also what's needed here is more allocation resources for defense, being ready for different threats. The budget is not an easy one. I just want to make the case, or maybe ask you, how much of these kind of provocations, how much a security element is in talks when we're talking about potentially the next European, the MFF budget?
Yeah, in MFF budget, we don't have it special, something special what we will give it to cybersecurity, but on the defense, there is increasing number what we have to use it as European Union, and we have it also the allowances as a SAFE and other programs what can grow up internally the budget of member states. I think it's very important, very necessary. You spoke about the cyber attacks. We see it in the European Union every day. hundreds and hundreds cyber attacks against our infrastructure. And it's not only about provocation. Sometimes they are trying to push us or to stop some hospitals operation, or they want to really misuse data from information systems of some European institution, and we have to react. And I think it's really very necessary to say that this is not only war between Russia and Ukraine. This is war between the Russia and democratic war. And we are included in democratic war. And what Mr. Tusk said, if you put it to the paper, I will sign it immediately.
Mm-hmm. But also at the same time, if we're looking at what is required in Europe, as you mentioned already, there's safe loans from Europe, etc. But generally more spending required on defense. This is something we've been talking about for a long while. Now, if we're talking about the budget, it's always a delicate matter, but you have certain countries, those frugal nations as they're called, if we're looking at Germany, the Netherlands, Austria, who are generally not for increasing the budget. But if we're looking at, for instance, the need, and Nadis Kubilius, the Defense and Space Commissioner, is saying, well, countries need to spend more. They need to contribute more to the European budget. So these two different narratives here, and Parliament in the middle. So which one's going to win out? How do you convince those frugal countries to pay more?
If I will say I am team of Poland, I am team of really Kubilius, who is saying we have to spend it more money because our infrastructure, internal military infrastructure is old, is prepared for the war of 20th century, and we have to increase the capacity. What we see in Ukraine, the drones productions, and drones are now the master of the piece who is dictated the situation. And if we are not prepared for this war, we will lose it. And I think we will lose a lot of lives if Russia will attack us. And we have to change it our mind and really prepare ourselves for this opportunity. And this is a real opportunity. And I think that Kubilius is absolutely right. If we will not spend it enough money, we have to lose a lot. And spend it money to defense is not prepare us for the war. It's prepare us for the peace. If you have a really strong army, then no one wants to clash you, or no one wants to try to come and really something to do here. And I think it's necessary change it, this mind, and be prepared for something what can happen. And if it will not happen, I think it's our victory, because growth of economy is linked with peace.
I mean, with defense on one side, many topics. I want to get also your insights on a few more if I can. One thing also which the EU has put as very much a security element also is enlargement. I mean, we're looking also at certain progress that was made with the first few important key accession talks with Ukraine and Moldova. On both of those fronts, let me just get your sense of the historical spat right now within Poland and also Ukraine. How much of that is spilling over in any of these accession or enlargement topics, if at all? Are they still able to be separated? And what's with Moldova's status as we just had the collapse there of the government?
Yeah, let's see what will happen. Now is discussion what we will to do, but I fully support that Moldova and Ukraine will be part of democratic world, and we have to do our maximum to help them to include in European structure. It cannot be really enlargement. It can be really part of our privilege partnership, but it must be any partnership. It must be that really Moldova people feel in reality that they are not the second nation, they are the first nation, they are included in European Union, and European Union is taking care about this small but very beautiful country, and the same with Ukraine. Also, Ukraine has so many privileges, and we have to continue to support them, especially in this time.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, the resignation of Moldova, I mean, does that change anything? I mean, in terms of, I mean, this seems like one of those things potentially Brussels and the EU could be worried about, or is this just business as usual now?
I think in this moment is business as usual. We will see in future what will happen, but I hope so that Moldova people wants the European future, and I hope so that next government will help them to join the European Union.
Mm-hmm. All right, speaking of the next government now, this rotating president of the EU, that's now Ireland, for the next 6 months. We've had already certain statements there, but what do you think in terms of what the next priorities will be? How are you going to be working with the Irish presidency? What's your take? How is Parliament viewing that new presidency there?
I have to say that I spoke with Irish presidency many times. They are very well prepared. They know what they want, and I think that they will go through the agenda. They will start in reality in September. Now they have it only 2 weeks, and in 2 weeks you can only open the chapters and close it, and there will be summer break. But from the September will start very hard work, and I hope so that Irish presidency will close many topics. They are very, very ambitious. They know what they wanted. They have it 10 priorities. One of them is defense and security. Also, from my side, I think that no one as Ireland can now bring much more British humor to the European Union and be really very well prepared for the situation. What I see will start it from the autumn 2026. Next 6 weeks in Ukraine front are most important. Russia is without fuel. Also, if Ukraine will continue and will really have it enough sources to defend themselves, I think it can really bring the Russia to the round table and stop the war.
Mm-hmm. I know that we're really conscious of time. Just really fast, one quick comment on one tangible thing that the European Union has also now discussed after many negotiations is also luggage for airlines, European Union airlines. Tell us quickly what the takeaway is there, what that means for Europe.
It means that our citizens has the same rights, and it will stop really misuse European law against our passengers, against our citizens, and it will send it strong signal to all airplanes that European customers are on the first place.
Mm-hmm. And I think also with that, it's a very tangible thing. Much like free roaming across the 27 EU member states, that was also something European Union worked together with the Parliament on. Look, we'll close it there. A lot of topics. Thanks so much. Always a pleasure there. Tomáš Zdechovský, Czech member of the European Parliament from the EPP. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for watching. That concludes World Talks. But stay right here on TVP World for more. Goodbye.